How do, and welcome back. Well, it's Saturday afternoon and I was just having a beer and I was doing some note taking for my for the book I'm writing, and I thought, why don't I put the camera on and let you know, give you an update, let you know what things are going on in the Brew Corner. I'm actually drinking a lovely bitter, very old school bitter. It's called Bluebird Bitter from the Coniston Brewery. Coniston's in the Lake District. It's only about an hour's drive away from me. Beautiful part of the country. And it's bottle conditioned. You don't see many bottle conditioned beers in the UK, unfortunately. But it's a really nice beer. It's that classic old school beer taste. And it really is nice. Uses Morris Otter and Challenger hops. So again, two very classic English ingredients there. You get a lovely malty aroma with a little bit of spice there from the hop, and the flavour is just the same. You can tell when Morris Otter is used because it gives the beer or the mouthfeel a really nice smoothness, and of course the Challenger hop is just giving a really nice peppery, spicy kick to the beer. Nice level of bitterness at the back end. It really is the type of beer that, you know, your granddad would have drank back in the 1950s and 1960s. It smells like a pub, you know, it's your typical pub smell. Beautiful. I'm enjoying that. Anyway, so as for an update, today what I'll be doing this afternoon is transferring the nut brown ale into a pressure barrel. I've got it here ready, just has to be sanitised. Now it's been a week, and Kveik, you know, it usually ferments out in about 3 or 4 days. But the reason I've given it a few more days is the gravity on Wednesday, that's day 3, was still at 1022, so it started at 1052. And I checked it on Thursday and it was 1022 again. And I checked it on Friday yesterday and it was 1022 again. So I know it's finished, but it doesn't taste sweet. And with a gravity of 1022, I would have expected it to be much sweeter. I'm scratching my head and I'm thinking, what's gone on? And I think I know now. It started off at 1052, but I used nut water. I steeped nuts for 90 minutes. And nuts contain starch, unfermentable starch, and of course I use that to brew the beer. So some of that 1052 will be the starch from the nuts, and it's affecting the gravity. At the end of the day, it's a 1-can kit, so you should be looking at more like 1040 or 1042. But because I think I'm using this nut water, it's took it up to 1052. So where I'm reading 1022, if it had just been normal water, just made the kit as per instructions, it will probably be something like 1012, 1015, which is where kits usually finish. So it was actually finished after 3 days. So it's just here. This is going to be transferred into the pressure barrel today. I've been able to keep a nice stable temperature of around about 35 degrees, and I'm hoping I can keep that temperature in the pressure barrel. I'm going to put the brew belt around the pressure barrel, see if we can keep it at around about 30-35 degrees, and it may even have carved by tomorrow. I have had instances, I've had brews where I've used Kveik, and if I can keep the bottles at about 30-35 degrees, in 24 hours, they rock hard. It's all carved. So I might be able to have a sample of it tomorrow afternoon. If not, then it'll definitely be Monday or Tuesday, so I can do like a midweek beer tasting review. So that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. I've already bottled the Tribute, the Clone Tribute Ale. that's been in the bottle now, coming up for a week. So next weekend that'll be ready for tasting. And I plan to get the commercial version and do a commercial versus homebrew side by side. So that should be next week. So that's what's coming up. I haven't yet decided on my next beer, but I do want to do a beer for the book. And as you know, I'm going to take someone through a brew day. That's my idea in this book, take them through a brew day, step by step. And I wanted a beer that a lot of people will like. And of course, immediately talk about lager, or in this case a pseudo lager, because I'm assuming it's a beginner and they don't have like a fermentation fridge where they can control temperatures. And I still like that Stella Artois unfiltered. It's a really nice beer and completely different from the normal Stella Artois. And what do you know? I found the recipe from 1978, Stella Artois. And when you look through the ingredients, you know, I think this is the beer. I think this is what they've done. They've brought back an old version of Stella, because on some forums I occasionally visit, there were people talking about this unfiltered Stella Artois, and some say it's like the Stella they used to drink or remember drinking in the 1980s. Well, this is 1978, so I think this is the Stella Artois recipe, the unfiltered recipe. And when you look at the instructions, you know it's not regular. So for example, it has that nice hazy look, and of course it's unfiltered, but they use wheat malt in the beer, and of course wheat creates a hazy looking beer. And then the amount of hops that they're using, Hallertau and Saaz, Hallertau for bittering, and some Saaz for bittering as well, and then Saaz in the whirlpool. And with the Stella Artois unfiltered, as soon as you take the cap off the bottle, you can get that beautiful whiff of Saaz hops. I bet this is Stella Artois unfiltered. And so this is what I'm going to base. I'm not going to copy it, but I'm going to base my recipe on this, and that will be the beer that I use to take someone through a brew day. And I'm also looking at the different beers that I'm going to include as recipes in the back of the book. Nipa is going to be one of them, for sure, a Nipa. I'm looking at a Pacific Pale Ale, the Australian Pacific Pale Ale, a Best Bitter, and I might make something similar to this for the Best Bitter. English Pale Ale, an English Porter. So yeah, I'm starting to get the list together, and future brew days I think are going to be more around the recipes for the book, so that I can get them right and then include them in the book. But the book's coming along very well now. I've got about 2 or 3 chapters down, and I just needed the beer. What beer was I going to brew? And now I've found it, I can start writing that chapter as well. So okay, that was it. Quick update. I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to finish this off and thoroughly enjoy it. But whatever you do, I hope it's going well for you, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye for now.